Hi, my name is Ambassador Howard Gutman, and I'm proud to be representing the United States of America in the Kingdom of Belgium. To represent a country I have long loved, in a country I'm quickly growing to love.
Hij is pas aangekomen, maar hij voelt zich al helemaal thuis. Hier is ambassadeur Howard Gutman.
Oh, won't you stay? Just a little bit longer. Please, please stay. Say you will, say you will.
Mr. Ambassador, let me introduce you to the other guest. That's Kathleen. She's a famous singer. That's Paul, he's a writer.
Right.
And that's Rick de Leeuw. He's singer, writer, and part-time immigrant, like yourself.
We all are.
You've been our new American ambassador for 2 weeks now.
1 month.
1 month already.
Time flies.
Yeah.
I'm a veteran.
Yeah. Appointed by President Obama himself.
Yes.
Did he phone you?
Yes, I was sitting at my desk one day in March, and the phone rang, and I just picked up, and on the line the woman said, "Please hold for the president." Right. And so I was surprised. And
You held for the president.
I held for the president, and then President Obama came on and said, "How are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I'm doing pretty well because the woman on the line just said, 'Please hold for the president.'" And I said, "Are you getting used to it?" And he said, "I am." And he said, "You've been a good friend, a good advisor, and a good supporter, and I'd love for you to represent the country in Belgium."
And honestly, what were your first thoughts when you heard the word Belgium?
There are really two things about Belgium. First of all, that wasn't really a question. That was sort of telling me where I was going,
Yeah.
so it wasn't going to be known in any event.
Yeah.
But there was two things about Belgium. First of all, I have a family, so there could be nowhere better to raise a family. I have a son here who's in high school, and my wife is here, and she's here tonight. And so it was a great place to raise a family. But, you know, to me, Belgium was a lot like Washington. It is the eyes and the ears of Europe. And so I've now started a saying in our embassy that if you want to be heard, say it in Belgium. So I was delighted.
Were you friends with the president before?
I met the president in January 2007. I had decided I was not going to be working on this campaign anymore. I had quit, I was done, and I was at my desk again and got a phone call. Never answered the phone at my desk. And it was Barack Obama, then not the president. And he said that he was due to go home that night at 9:30 at night to write his speech announcing that he would run for president, which he would read the next Saturday. But if I would come and spend an hour with him, he would stay till 10:30. Now, I didn't plan on working for him. I just couldn't say to the man, go home at 9:30. So I went to spend an hour with him. I went to tell him that I thought very highly of him, but I wasn't going to help him. After spending the hour with him, I never said that. I went home and I told my wife I had just met the next president of the United States.
Yeah. And what's the name of your wife?
My wife is Michelle.
Michelle.
Yes.
So, that's not the reason. That's not the reason why you and Barack Obama connected.
I'll tell you something the world doesn't know. Okay. 2 people in this world went to Columbia University, Harvard Law School, and a year after graduating Harvard Law School on October 3rd, married their wives, Michelle. Me and Barack Obama.
All right.
And I went first.
So
I went first.
Yeah, okay. So you were destined to work together.
I didn't realize it till much later when I found out their anniversary was this past weekend, which is when ours was.
Had you been to Belgium before?
We've been to Belgium as tourists. I was not in the State Department until 5 weeks ago, so as tourists. In fact, the first trip we took 28 years ago, we came to Belgium. I've always loved Belgium, but I never thought about living here until the issue was living here, and then I couldn't think of a better place that you'd want to live.
Okay. On your website, you introduced yourself to the Belgian people in a clip.
In my time here, I plan to visit every city, every village, every commune. For the more we know about each other, the more we understand that we will always be neighbors. You've welcomed me into your home, and I would love for you to visit mine.
Do you know how many villages there are?
I believe 589, but that's an easy pledge. But first of all, we have a map on my wall and we have pins. But I've been here a month. In one day, I had to go from Zeebrugge to Bree. So that's easy. In one day, just Zeebrugge to Bree in one day. Now I've been to Bree, I've been to Antwerp, I've been to Brugge, I've been to Zeebrugge, I've been to Dinant, I've been to Namur, I've been to Charleroi. We held an event. My first official speech In Belgium, I held in Charleroi. And then we were in Molenbeek on Saturday. I went to a community center because we're building a partnership. And if you're going to build a partnership, you've got to build it with everybody. People who see American ambassadors, people who've never seen an American ambassador. And that's what we're aiming to do, so I will meet everybody.
Okay. You speak any Dutch already?
Well, okay, first of all...
well, now you're in our home, but...
Ich ben Howard, there you go.
Yeah. Ik ben Howard.
And smakelijk I say every day, so there you go. But it's 7 o'clock in the morning, every morning on Rue Zinner. You can come at 7 o'clock in the morning and I take language lessons every day. French one day, Dutch the next day. French one day, Dutch the next day.
Why French?
Remember that partnership I'm building? I'm building it with all the Belgians.
You're new.
From Charleroi to Mechelen. And
Give it a couple of months. No.
So we take language every morning.
And what did you learn today?
Ich ben moe. And that's because we were for Father Tremolo yesterday. We were at the premiere of Fame the night before. I had Charleroi the day before, so I have given 4 major speeches in 3 days.
Yeah.
So ich ben moe.
That's enough. Talking about Fame, that movie has its premiere tomorrow night. You have a part in it.
I do have a part in it. So I was a very serious lawyer for 27 years in Washington, and I advised government officials and politicians and, you know, a Harvard lawyer, but I had a midlife crisis. Yeah. And unless you drive really well, you don't buy a Ferrari when you have a midlife crisis. You try to get small roles in Hollywood. And so I was once advising on a television series for George Clooney, and he said, can't you just do it? Took me about 1 second to say, where do I act? And so I was in an HBO series. Then I was in a movie with Tim Robbins, William Hurt, and Billy Baldwin.
Right.
I usually play lawyers. This time I play a butcher. So
let's have a look.
This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity here.
I don't understand. Shouldn't he be giving you the money? Isn't that what producers do?
He's not the financier, he's the producer, and there's a difference. All I need you to do is kick in like $5 grand, and I know, I'm aware that's a lot of money. I really get it, I get it. But, you know, Eddie says we could even, you know, we could sell to television and make a profit. You gotta trust me on this one, Dad. I'd be shooting on a real film and everything. I mean, Dad, this is the real deal, Dad.
Real deal? Huh? You think so?
Come on, Dad. Help a brother out.
Very, very well done.
There you go. There you go. Ambassadors have to have a lot of talents.
Yeah. And George Clooney is a friend of yours. Did he give you any advice?
The first time I went to act, George Clooney was holding the camera, and Steven Soderbergh was the director. The advice when you're in a George Clooney and Steven Soderbergh is don't be nervous.
Which is very good advice.
There you go.
And you like being a butcher?
This was not a hard role because it was really the father of a high schooler who's asking him for money. I'd play that every day.
All right. You have further ambition as an actor. Will you keep combining it with ambassador?
I'm going to get in trouble on this answer. I'm actually supposed to play a lawyer in a movie for Matthew McConaughey. But once I joined the State Department, you're not supposed to be doing anything else. So I got to convince him it's really good diplomacy to be able to play the role. But seriously, I was a very serious lawyer, and I was a serious government. These are small roles, but I'd still like to play the Matthew McConaughey lawyer.
When will President Obama be visiting Belgium?
So when he called that day in March and said, I'd love you to go to Belgium, what I said is, I will go, but you've got to come visit. So he said he certainly would try. Now, he knows how important Belgium is. He knows how important it is for the citizens of Belgium. He knows how important it is as the home of NATO and the home of the EU. And I think he believes what I believe, which is if you want to be heard, say it in Belgium. So I suspect we'll get him.
Yeah, what you have to tell him is how important the Laatste show is. Because we will be more than happy to welcome him.
I'm going to change the saying. If you want to be heard, say it on the Laatste show.
Thank you very much for this interview. Howard Gutman.
Thank you so much.